Welcome to O Talkin' with Dave. Put your hands together for the pastor of positivity whose glass is always at least half full. Here's Dave.
Hey, how we doing out there? I hope you're great. I am top shelf, living the dream. You know what I do, though? I catch myself doing this all the time, even though I probably should practice more of what I preach. I can be bebopping along, having a great day, and all of a sudden, boom, I do something that I know is going to anger me or agitate me, maybe make me anxious, distract me, or maybe just piss me off. I just call it picking a fight with myself. So in life, you got things that happen. They just happen. You can't control them. You can just control how you respond, not react. Respond. However, another thing about suffering in life is the ones you manufacture for yourself. You do it. You clock in. Hey, let me do this so I can be a little agitated. That's the one we're going to talk about today. We do it voluntarily, repetitiously. And there's a high probability these things are going to, if not put us in a bad mood or piss us off, it will make us tense or uneasy. Maybe even, you ever have that where you're going along and all of a sudden you find yourself in a bad mood and you don't know why? That sour feeling? Yeah. And we do these things intentionally. There's no payoff. There may be a silver lining in them, but why deal with it? And that uncomfortable truth is a lot of what wrecks our mood is our own doing. And we'll call it a mood because moods come and they go. However, wouldn't it be better without them? It's us. We're picking fights with ourselves. We press that same mental button all day like it's going to bring peace. More of this, more of a bad thing, more of an annoyance. Okay, I'll get through it. Let's just do it more. And we're going to talk a lot about these. But the whole premise behind today's O-Talk is your mood, it's not just a feeling. It's feedback. It's your feedback system based on what you're putting in there. When you repeatedly feed your consciousness with junk, that's what you're going to get out of it. You're not going to be more informed. That's what a lot of times what we think. I just need to consume some of this so I'll be more informed. No. Are you more prepared? No. You become more reactive, more emotional, which leads to being more tired. Or maybe comparison or whatever, you're convinced that more is not right or something's wrong with your life. And we do it to ourselves. Modern life makes this so easy. The digital world we live in, it's so easy. Our phones are basically, they're supercomputers, but also like slot machines. You just feed them and then ding, that's trauma. And the headlines. I haven't sat down and watched the news in I don't know how long. However, headlines grab your attention. What does that do? Okay, what's the deal with that? And you dig in and before long, you're sucked in. Surveys have reported on different mobile habits. The great thing or the horrible thing, but the byproduct of a digital world is it can be tracked. It can be tracked. And our mobile habits consistently show that they're baked in to our behavior. Hundreds of phone checks per day, hours of daily phone use. You can look at it. There's been a lot of, and I don't know how accessible this is. I don't know that they can find yours. Probably whoever they are, they can probably find your usage. You sure can on your phone. However, they can collect the data. And it's incredible the amount of hours, the amount of checks per day, whether it's social media or email. I don't have my personal email on my phone anymore. Thank goodness. That was a tough one. Took a little bit getting used to, but I did, and it's cool. But checking for text, checking social media, having notifications on, all of that stuff, the number of times per day. And we're We're not even talking productivity now. Stopping what you're doing to check something. Okay, now how long does it take to get back to what you're doing to where you were? Or have you hurried through this to check that? And I'm preaching to the choir here. I do the same thing. And then the doom scrolling. Oh, doom scrolling. That's a lot of people. The last thing they do before they go to sleep or the first thing they do in the morning. It's averaged between 1 and 3 hours of doom scrolling per person per day. Now, there's a bell curve. Some do it far less, some do it more. Some are dooming all day, baby. But they can track this now. And anything, I have sources on it, so I'm not just making this stuff up to fit an O-Talk. Actually, the O-Talk's coming from it. Because I was thinking, what is affecting my productivity? But more than that, what is affecting my mood? And you know what it is? It's me. It's intentional. Maybe it's unintentionally intentional, but I'm picking these fights with myself. And we live in an environment that's designed to grab you. There's a hair on my mic. It's not mine. I wouldn't have noticed it. So the thing is, it's constantly poking you. We even set notifications up to say, hey, just in case you're in a good mood, here's something for you. Amazon's a problem. And now that TikTok marketplace, please stop it. Please stop it. But I don't turn that off, do I? Nah. So I thought of 10 things daily that we do voluntarily and repetitive that can affect our mood negatively. And so let's just run through them. There's no surprises here. When you think of, when I say them though, do I do that? Yeah, you do probably. I do. First one, check social media just real quick. I'm just going to do it quick. Yeah, but 10, 15 seconds is all it's going to take. Yeah. 12 minutes later, I'm either mad or jealous or insecure about something. How guys, I'm not talking to the ladies now. How many of you can go to the restroom and sit down without your phone? Yeah, hey, I'm not really doing anything. I'm doing something, but that's not wasted time, right? Yeah, an hour later in about an inch crease in your backside from sitting there scrolling or doing whatever. Hey, just real quick. Women are in and out, no problem. I heard an interesting theory on this recently, and I'll check it with you. You talk about chasing a rabbit. Here we go. I heard someone's theory that the reason men take longer, we'll say doing number 2, is because that's the only time we sit down. Women sit down every time they go. Hopefully they do. And men, they sit down so they just get comfortable. Yeah, sitting there on the throne. My goodness. Tosh.0 said Daniel Tosh said he turns around on the toilet. That way he's got a little shelf and you have some snacks or whatever. Men just settle in for a little while. But okay, all right, off topic. That'd probably be good something for a quick hit. But anyway, that social media time, just checking in real quick, that can affect your mood. It can make you mad. And you're doing it on purpose. I talked about doom scrolling earlier, but doom scrolling the news, like it's just rapid response, like it's a fire drill. Harvard Health, they summarized how doom scrolling, it's measurable, how it increases your anxiety, excluding long-term anxiety over time. If you don't get over that hump and you doom scroll some more, it's cumulative. And then you're in such a funk that it's much harder to get out of. And they're measuring this. There's going to be long-term studies on this because how long has it been around? 10, 15 years, the social media and its compounded effect on you. But that doom scrolling the news, we do it first thing in the morning right before you go to bed. I'm trying not to do that anymore. And honestly, I don't anymore. I've got a morning routine that keeps me from doing it. And then at night, usually I'm so tired, I just go to sleep. However, that is bad, and we do it to ourselves. Here's one that, tell me if you do this or not. Rereading a text and tone policing it. Oh, I read that earlier. What did they mean by K? It didn't say okay. I didn't notice that at first. Or what is that? Is that sarcasm? Are they being coy or crass? I didn't notice that the first time. I'm going to reread this. If you're doing that, congratulations. You just started all sorts of drama in your skull. And we do it on purpose. Maybe we want to read something. Maybe we read it and it was nice. Let me read that again. It's not as nice as the first time. It goes from, oh, how sweet, to, wait a minute, were they being sarcastic? Oh, my goodness, they said, bless your heart. What? Rereading. Why reread it? Ruminating turned it into a negative. Been there. Or how about this? I love the word, and I try to use it daily. Catastrophizing. Catastrophizing your calendar. Oh, I'm doing it right now. I can look right over the top here, and I've got 3 months right there. And I look as those months fill up, and I second guess, and I question. Wait a minute. I thought it was Wednesday, and it's Monday. Oh my goodness, it's Monday. Now I've got this on Tuesday, and I thought I had planned to do that later. Oh, I've got all this tomorrow now. And you're just, and your body reacts. When I'm at my best, I know I planned this through. Just follow Outlook, Dave. Just go through it. But instead it's, I'm second guessing it. Oh, what if I did this? Oh, I can do this better. Oh no, now it's snowballing on. Catastrophizing your calendar. I finished doom scrolling and look at my calendar, and now I just want to hang myself. And I did it all. That's just made up. I didn't have to look at either. Catastrophizing my calendar. I just got to quit. I just follow it. I'll set alarms, and I wonder why the alarm went off. Because I'm organized. Hush. Then, this is a big one. We can back away from social media for a second and just think about ruminating on old arguments or old situations or maybe old losses. Guys are great at this. I remember in 9th grade when Bradshaw beat us by a couple of points in the district tournament. I still think about that. Those pompous, ugh. But anyway, you've got all different kinds of things we make up to ruminate over. American Psychiatric Association describes rumination as repetitive dwelling on distress and notes it can contribute to depression, anxiety, and worsen existing conditions. You're making it worse. And one reason you're making it worse is most of the time it's over. You know how this comes up in old arguments? You think about it, and then you think, I wish I'd have said this, or I should have said that. And you're beating yourself up. While the other person is just gone on living even if you win the argument, if you can win an argument, you want to make it better. You want to spike the ball. Ruminating on old arguments or thinking about a time when you were embarrassed. I wish I hadn't have done that. If I'd have just done this before, that wouldn't have happened. Dave, that was 20 years ago. Let's calm down. It's all up here, man. It's all up here. Or how about, let me just real quick, I'm on the way out. Let me just check email right quick. I'll be right with you. Why? Because there may be something in there to upset you. Email is always going to be there. Their email, some people worship email like they're God. Just check it one more time. It's not going to make a difference if you don't. And if you're waiting on an imminent lottery win or whatever, okay, all right. But let me check it. Just the people that are obsessed with it. And there have been times in my life when I've been that way to get good news or to get the latest update. But a lot of times it's a bad news and it's not what you were looking for, but it leads you down a path. Yeah, email. Email used to be a problem. Now text and social media are the big ones. But if you do all of them and they're all on your phone, ugh. Then here's another one. Compromising your behind the scenes to someone else's highlight reel. Social media is nothing but a highlight reel. And then you start thinking about it. And so you're comparing. And then you compromise your self-esteem with that. And then call it motivation. Yeah, my goodness, I don't have a weight issue now, but I've had in the past, and it's always, I'm going to get there. I'm going to do that. Oh, I think I look pretty good. Oh, not compared to them. My goodness, look up. And it's constant. It puts doubt in your mind. You compare. That's the big thing with especially youth. You know what? I'm not even going to say especially youth. I'll say young girls, because they're comparing their true life to the highlight reel. So what do? They make a highlight reel of their own. No matter what you do, if you're not okay with yourself, it's just a constant struggle to keep up. And it's not going to put you in a good place. And you're doing it to yourself. Yeah, I guess that's why God made me bald and portly. Because if I was good looking, then my ego I would be insufferable. But comparing yourself to other people's highlight reels. Then micromanaging what you can't control. Micromanagement, I think the older you get, the less you should do this. Definitely. It's never a good thing. And I'm not talking about just at work. That's a challenge at work. You're going to drive your people crazy. But also micromanaging yourself. Every little detail. These perfectionists, or I guess those who are pretending to be perfectionists, that's tough. You talk about, and you got things that are way beyond your control. Weather, traffic, what other people think. The past, there's nothing you can do. The future, you can prepare for the future, but you don't know what's going to happen next. And then whether one of your kids closed a cabinet, or someone left the door open, or blah, blah, whatever it is, all these things, they happen. They're going to happen. They're going to continue to happen. You can't do anything about it. But trying to will drive you crazy. I know people who are so particular, they drive themselves crazy. And a lot of times it's things that don't matter. Where does that come from? That's another O-Talk. That should be an individual O-Talk. However, it's not micromanaging that's the problem. It's micromanaging what you can't control. That's going to drive you nuts and put you in a bad mood and cause anxiety. It's picking a fight with yourself. And just a couple of more. Mental rehearsal for conflict. And this goes back to rumination a little bit, but practicing what you should have said or what you will say. Now, I believe in triggers. Something comes up, I believe in having a trigger, meaning I've got a tough conversation I need to have, and I don't know exactly when to have it. So when this person says this, that will be my trigger to enter that. Or if someone needs to be put in their place or set straight or whatever, okay, the next time they say this, I'm going to say this. It's a good trigger. And I believe fate, the universe, whatever, triggers us at the right time so that we can. So I don't think there's anything wrong with that. However, practicing it over and almost being obsessed with, okay, here's what I'll say. No, you know what? This would be better. And just constantly practicing that. It feels like you're sharpening the sword a little bit, but it's actually affecting you emotionally. You're missing what's going on right now because you're overdoing it there. Dude, quit acting like that. You're shedding friends like something that sheds a lot. Don't overdo it. Some people mentally rehearse so much stuff, their mind can't calm down enough to enjoy what they're doing. And then the last thing I'll say, and I don't know how to say, a fancy way to say it, but there's disturbing thoughts. Worry is to torture yourself with disturbing thoughts, of course. However, I call it disturbing thought tourism. Meaning you deliberately wander into what-if scenarios. Now, sometimes you need to do what-if scenarios. I'm going to go to the restroom before I hop in the car and get on the road because what if? Yeah, okay, that's not what if. That's biology. However, a lot of people are constantly doom and gloom. I know people who will back out on a trip because they've got so many what if scenarios. They won't go out in public for a fun night out because so many what if scenarios. And then when they do go out and some of this happens, instead of rolling with the punches, it's, see, I knew it. And it's just, who wants to be around people like that? None of that is real. I'm not discounting any mental health issues here. I'm just talking about quit thinking about everything that can go wrong to the point that you can't notice what's going right. So I threw out 10. There's probably 100 that I do from time to time when I'm not at my best. And it is literally picking a fight with yourselves. So why do we do that? If I lost you, some of you say, no, I don't do any of those. You're lying. You're lying. Or I need to spend more time around you so you can influence me positively. But why do we do it? Don't beat yourself up for doing it. It doesn't mean you're weak. It just means you're human. There is a negativity bias out there that it treats threats as a priority. I think it's probably one of the fight or flight. It probably from the caveman days. I don't know a lot about the caveman days. However, that's the way we're wired. Bad news feels urgent because with evolution, it was. You protect against that. You have predators. You were in the food chain and not necessarily at the top. Way back when, I think we're to some degree that's still there. Some people are scared to death in bad neighborhoods. Some people are scared to death if they hear a car backfire thinking it's a gunshot. All of that, okay, there's nothing wrong with that. But when it's overly active, that can be a problem. But we have a negativity bias in some ways. Some handle it better than others. Another reason is there are different rewards, variable rewards. Intermittent reinforcement of those reinforcing a negative thought or a danger, that can be addictive to some people. Social feeds, there's a reason why your algorithm is not all good. It has to put some threats in there, even if it's to sell something. You don't get this, oh, you're at risk. Oh, how many times have you seen that? My goodness, with medicines. If you don't take this supplement, oh, something can happen. Oh, I might need to do that. I don't want to miss out on that. And then you start putting quarters in the slot machine. Most of it, nothing. But every once in a while it will hit. And what happens when you click on that? Boom, now they've got you locked in. And you get that, go, you like that? Here's more of that. Oh, you're scared of that? Here's more of that. Smart stuff, man. Smart stuff. So it's not all our fault. Negativity bias. You've got these different rewards along the way. And then also there's the illusion that you have of some kind of control. If you check enough, if you read enough, if you worry enough, you're going to feel safer. Yeah, I got a lot of friends who say, yeah, worry about it because worry works. Because 99% of the stuff you worry about will never happen. That's not what we're talking about. You've got that illusion of, if I immerse myself in this stuff, I'll get some control over it. It won't affect me as negatively. Usually does the opposite. And then the rumination, it's a masquerade. It masquerades as problem solving, thinking it through. I can think back to my sweet Aunt Evelyn. Wonderful. And I know a lot of my relatives in Western Kentucky listeners, and they know Aunt Evelyn, but when she would get something on her mind, man, she spent a lot of time. Uncle C was a riverboat pilot. He was gone 30 plus days at a time. and we would go visit. Oh, she always had a project or something she was thinking about. It could be anything from going and getting her hair done on Thursday to new drapes to I need some new, she called them, her pants, she called them slacks. I thought that was so funny when I was a kid, slacks. But she had something on her mind. She talked about it constantly. Or if she did something that didn't turn out quite the way she wanted to, she talked about it. And I love my Aunt Evelyn. I'm not being negative at all. But if it was a negative thing in her mind, it's like she constantly worked on it, although there was no resolution. Go buy the drapes. Go get your hair done. Go buy some slacks. Slacks still makes me laugh. But see, research shows that all of this stuff that we do, it's like we treat it like a diagnosis and like we're working on the problem. But the thing is, we're not. We're working up a problem. And so rumination sometimes masquerades as problem solving when no, it's a downward spiral. And that's common. We all do it to some degree. So all of this pick and fights with ourselves, it's normal. And then the last one I'll share is social proof and fear of missing out. FOMO. Oh, how powerful is FOMO? There's all sorts of stuff around this. It's FOMO, but also proving something out socially. Social media, I harp on it all the time, but I'm on it. But the thing is, you got different phases of your life. Whether if you're a youth, you have higher anxiety and depression symptoms and stress caused by FOMO. I know some people in their 30s and 40s. It can lead to jealousy. It can lead to resentment. It can lead to all sorts of stuff. But either broader examples, research shows that many people perceive social media as being connected to society. No, you're not. You're connected to algorithms. There's been a lot of things come out, like Twitter, for example. They determined up to 80% of what came out on Twitter were being put out by less than 20% of the total users, and 80% of those were bots. They weren't even people. They were just algorithms, just in and out. They showed some of the Chinese technology would allow someone to enter a line. It would change it, but put out to 100,000 different bots just at their fingertips. Boom, just like that. So the thing is, most of the FOMO on social media, that's not even real. Now, FOMO with your friends, that's why I say have a tight circle. If your friends are doing something and you can't go, deal with it. If your friends are doing something they didn't invite you, deal with the fact that they may not be the best friends. However, fear of missing out, or I call it social proof with, I can prove my worthiness by my reaction and interaction with social media. This will make you pick a fight with yourself. And it's not good. Of course it's not good, or I wouldn't even brought it up. I'm going to have a sip of Diet Mountain Dew. They're not a sponsor, but they could be. So let's talk about it. That's some ideas as to why we do it. Why individually do we want these mood-ruining habits? Just real quickly, because I did a lot of talking in that first part. We confuse stimulation with real meaning. Ooh, I got something out of that. And stimulation could be positive or negative, but, okay, that's good. If we read a quote and it really hits home, but it makes us sad. Okay, does that quote really pertain to me, or am I adjusting that to fit my situation? And sometimes that's good, but if it's not being positive or being progressive toward your day or your productivity, it's just stimulation. It's not meaning. Also, we'd rather feel busy than feel uncertain. Now I'm uncertain. I feel insecure. If I can just be busy, it doesn't matter. I can get past it and ignore it. We got one coming up. We got O-Talk coming up on that. Addressing versus ignoring. But sometimes we just rather feel busy. We're avoiding something real But maybe it's a decision or a conversation or the next step just by jumping into this. I'll do this. I'll get to that later, or maybe not at all, but I'm going to be busy. We act like it's real. No, there's some real things that need to be done. Also, we've trained ourselves to react first and reflect later. Ready, shoot, aim. That's going to cause for some more problems. And then, what is just familiar? The doom scrolling, the checking this. I'll do that a couple of more times. Just real quick. Let me check this real quick. And then you've got 10 things that happen. It's familiar. Even misery can make you comfortable or put you in a comfort zone. But misery is predictable. Misery loves company. What do they say? If something good happens, you'll tell one person. If something bad happens, you'll tell 10. Yeah. So how do we beat this temptation? Dave, I think you've made your point. I don't know if I'm a mess or not, but you sure are. So how do we resist the temptation? So I think we have to build in some type of friction. Build a barrier to make it so easy. Maybe it's removing apps off your home screen, or maybe you have to scroll a little to get to the app. Log out. Don't leave it open. Turn off non-essential notifications. And truth be known, they're mostly non-essential. I've got a tight circle, and my kids and my sister, and that's about it. I have times that I go, and I'm not good at this, I'm telling you right now. However, you want to get in touch with me, text me. And I may or may not have that ding on compared to based on what I'm doing. However, the most essential notifications will get through. If all notifications are getting through, okay, you're picking a fight with yourself. Yep. Also, use delay. We talk about friction and moving stuff around to it's not so easy. Also, there's a great thing about a delay. The pause. You want to check something, just say, hey, you know what? I'm on 5 minutes. Or right now it's this time, okay, in 15 minutes, I'll go check and I'll do 2 things at once. But I'm going to delay that. Something good can happen between now and then that can overshadow anything bad that might be. And 2, it's a lot like a food craving. Most urges die if you don't feed them immediately. Just give it a minute. You're eating something, and I'm not preaching now, but you eat something, and if you wait a few minutes, you'll fill up a little bit. See, that's not my policy. I don't eat till I'm full. I eat till it's all gone. All right, but use delay as your superpower there. Schedule scrolling. It's like it's a vice. I had a good buddy when we were in New York. That's when they started putting the smoking sections out in a tent across the parking lot. And so he got in shape because he had to walk. He smoked less, but he had to schedule his smoke breaks. It's cold. He's in New York. He's freezing to death. So he had to schedule them. And so that'd be cool for this. Schedule your doom scrolling. If you're going to do it, all right, schedule it. I do my emails that way. Early in the morning, usually at lunch, and then at night, which is my tough time because by the end of the day, I got a lot of emails and stuff. But schedule that social media, that scrolling. I usually post early in the morning and then try not to touch it that much. Because random access and random scrolling, that can turn your your mood into a pinball machine. Up and down, back and forth, and especially if I have to be productive, which sometimes I do. I got something coming up in Phoenix. It's 3 solid days. I'll be answering nothing during the day. No. And so most people know that ahead of time, but I'm more productive then. I feel like I get so much more done because I haven't polluted my mind with all these random acts of craziness. And then I think it's important to replace the habit with a reset ritual. 30 to 90 seconds. Just take a minute, take a breath, go for a walk, stretch, My shoulder's been tight lately and just a good long stretch. If you have to go to the bathroom, put some cold water in your face, something. Pray. Just put, Lord, please help me to not doom scroll and go punch somebody. But see, your brain wants a pattern. So if you replace some of this stuff with a reset button, okay, all right, now let me just hold on just a second. I'm just going to sit here and be quiet for a second and clear my mind. That's going to help so much, and it'll help reset you. And then the thing is, name it. Name what you're doing. Say it out loud. Okay, I'm doom scrolling. There's some bad news. Yeah, all right. I'm thinking about it's the purple car theory. If you notice it, if you name it, you'll notice it more. You will tell yourself when you're doom scrolling, when you're trying to get that quick social media fix, when you're trying to see how many likes a post had, just to make you feel better about yourself. And if it's less than you thought, now you feel crappy about yourself. Or when you're thinking about, for the 25th time, what you should have said to Joe yesterday. He got me. Yeah, but name it. Yep, I'm ruminating. Yep, I'm doing this. Because labeling it reduces its power and it creates distance between where you want to be and what you're doing. Yeah. And distance will create the opportunity to choose rather than just fall into it. So there's a few things I think we can do. And the thing is, you've got a reward if you do it. You're going to have just a few things. If you can stop doing it or reduce it, you're going to increase your baseline of positive versus anxiety. Your nervous system, it stops living on red alert. The alarm bells aren't going off constantly. You know those people who will come into every interaction just hair on fire. It's the crisis of the day. If you got a little ache in your shoulder, oh my goodness, they'll tell you about 10 things that they've got going on right now. But it will lower your anxiety baseline, which is great. You're more even keel. Also, you're able to focus more. Your attention isn't being pulled everywhere, not being chopped up into all these different things. It's like your attention span is confetti because you've got so many things. They're not craving your attention. You're craving their input. And it's chaos. It's chaos. You're going to have better relationships. You're not checking your phone every 5 minutes. Somebody's present. And that's a good thing to call yourself out on. When I'm with somebody, and I notice it more. And if I notice it too much, I'll apologize. I'm sorry on my phone so much. I'm just been blah, blah, blah. Or I'm expecting this, or I'm expecting. That's okay, but you're still not present. So you'll have better relationships. And I'm working on some good ways to call people. Call yourself and call other people when they're doing that and they're not present. Come on. Am I not worth your time? Are they not worth my time? Those type of things. So you have better relationships. You're going to have more confidence because you've practiced a little bit of self-control. Yeah, I let that Cinnabon just go right by me. I'm mouth-watering. But I showed some self-control. I'll get to that later. And later, I'll be in a better place because I made good choices. And it's all boundaries. It's all boundaries. And also, without all this confetti of chaos, just you're pouring on yourself. It's like the cold water challenge. You're pouring all this on yourself. You're going to have more energy. Yeah. You're going to have less worry, less rage, and you're going to have more energy for the things that matter. So that's just a few, that's the rewards. But what can you do today? What can we do today to be better? I'm going to give you 5 things. Pick 2. Can we commit to picking 2? Don't overthink it. Overthinking it usually is also another problem. I overthought that. I should have done this. I should have done that. What are the other 5? Okay, you're doing it again. So pick 2. So think about this. And this is something that I do. I have to fill my time, but I do this. No phone for the first 15 minutes after you wake up. You can go do coffee, you can brush your teeth, you can fill your first 15 minutes with necessary hygiene. No phone. Whew, can you do it? All right. One doom scroll window per day. Set a timer. All right, I've got 15 minutes. All right, I've got 30 minutes. When am I going to do it? Put it in your planner. All right. Okay. Don't interrupt me. I'm doom scrolling for 30 minutes. Leave me alone. I am going to wallow in it. Okay? Set the timer. Don't go over. All right. Turn off notifications for anything that isn't a person you love or a tool you truly need to be on time, to meet a deadline, whatever it is. Turn off all the other notifications. You'll find it. Is it that important? I'm going to go over these again. Just a second. Number 4, when rumination starts, write one sentence. What happened was blah. What I can do next is blah. Because a lot of times, you can answer that first one quick, blah, 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 blah. What can I do next? It's gone. If you can't do anything, then number 1 doesn't matter. Let it go. Let it go. And then the 5th one, end the day with a clean close. Think about it. Think of 3 wins. I do the gratitude post. 3 things I'm grateful for. It's easy. So do this. 3 things, 3 small wins today. Maybe it can be anything. Small ones count, big ones count, but small ones count. I did better here. I did better there. I could have done that, but I didn't. I did this. Yes. 1 lesson. So it's 3 wins, 1 lesson, and 1 next step. Meaning, all right, here's 3 things. And here's what I learned. I felt better after I did that. I was going to do this, but instead I picked up the phone and called a friend. Or I saw something, and instead of scrolling, I texted somebody saying, hey, I saw a duck with a hat on, and it made me think of the time, whatever. And then the next step is, okay, I'm going to do that again tomorrow. Or I could have done this instead. So 3 wins, 1 lesson, and 1 next step. All right, I'm going to go over the 5 again. No phone for the first 15 minutes after you wake up. Anybody taking that one? That's pretty easy. 1 doom scroll. You set the time, you set the window, you set the timer. Turn off notifications. When rumination starts, okay, here's what happened. What can I do next? Most of the time, it's over, dude. Quit thinking about it. And then end the day with, all right, how did the day go? 3 wins, 1 lesson, 1 next step. Please, pick 2. You can pick them all, but pick 2. Because all this is important. Productivity is my game, and the most detrimental foe I have to being more productive, this guy. And it's not even this guy. It's inside this head. I think all of my confetti of chaos pushed my hair out. That's why. Anyway, not bitter. I'm not going to ruminate. So the thing is, it's Viktor Frankl said, between stimulus and response, there is space. Think about that. It's something stimulating you, positive, negative, whatever. But there's between that and your response to it, your reactivity, there's space. That space is your freedom. What are you going to do in that space? Are you going to choose to grab it, gnaw on it? Or are you going to choose to move on, move away, consider it, and then move on? You don't get freedom just by wishing for it. You don't pray for freedom. You get it by training it, training yourself. What do I do in that space between stimulus and my response? Yeah, here's a truth that stings a little. If you keep doing the same mood poisoning behavior every day, you're not having a hard time. You're practicing having a hard time. It's going to become who you are. So we can practice something else. We can train ourselves to practice something else. Not talking about perfection. No. Not nonstop positivity. That's not realistic. Just better inputs. Boundaries. Better choices. Just in the small moments, little small things. You're waiting on somebody. Okay, let me see. Let me just check real quick. You could have done something else. You could have looked up and there's a bird or something out there that you can enjoy rather than something that probably will change your mind, your mood, or keep your mood in a bad place. And then one day you'll look up and realize you didn't fix your whole life. You just stopped picking fights with yourself. And it's important. If we can reduce the number of times in a day we take in things that cause us to be distracted and have conflicts with ourselves, our whole world will change. And I said those benefits early. So I hope this has helped. I'm going to think about it. I'm going to think about it a lot. And it's, don't overthink it. Just do it. Don't try. Do. Let me know what you think. Hit me up at david@otalks.com or david@otalks.com. Go on otalks.com. I'm trying to do better about updating my calendar in case you want to book something with a face-to-face. I'm starting to travel more. Every time I say I'm going to travel less, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. I'm going to travel more. But I'm out there. I hope this has been helpful. I appreciate you more than thanks for hanging out. Thanks for hanging on. But most of all, thanks for O-Talking with Dave. Giddy up.